My name's Laura McGowan, and I'm a parent at Sacred Heart School. So, this is a distressing situation. There are many issues that come to mind for me. What comment can Sacred Heart make regarding why this family was enrolled the first time out? Clearly, the original registration had both mothers' names, and the family was accepted. Why change the rules now? Why not welcome this Catholic family for as long as they want to stay? Children trump doctrine and adult issues in my book. It has been portrayed the school will teach the children their parents are in some way wrong. The grade school doesn't talk sex or sexuality with its young students, and it's very infrequent for a Sunday homily to even mention the term homosexuality. The idea the children will hear at school something is wrong with their parents is not accurate. Long ago, some branches of the church had slaves, and Catholic schools in Louisiana were segregated until 1962. And thankfully, the church no longer stands by slavery and segregation. People do not choose to be marginalized. It is something thrust upon them. I consider denying enrollment of the two children from a two-mom family a misguided error of judgment and morality, and one which I hope will be publicly reversed by the Catholic Church. Much like Dave Ensign said in the paper on Saturday, when my country engages in activities with which I disagree, I have spoken out with vigorous opposition, but not abandoned the place I love. Many Catholics do not consider it a sin or wrong to be gay. Many Catholics have gay or lesbian family, friends, and colleagues, and we love them for who they are as humans, as people like ourselves. These two children were baptized Catholic, the parents are Catholic, and they have every right to practice their faith and send their children to school at Sacred Heart, just as I or any other Catholic family does. I hope the priest who baptized the children will give a statement soon, and I have every confidence that we wish to see the children grow in faith. Change has to come from within the church. It's incumbent upon all religious people to continue to give communion and to welcome gay and lesbian people into their parishes, as well as lead the way within church structure for permanent change. Catholics must be willing to write and speak to their parish priests about this issue. Until things change, dialogue must remain alive. My faith is in the Bible's main message, and that is to love one another. Mother Teresa said it best: the neglect to love brings spiritual poverty. Thank you.
So my name is Carrie Van Heist, and you can see how hard this has been on the parents. I'm one of them too. And I want everybody here to know that we don't represent everybody's voice at Sacred Heart, but we represent quite a majority, it seems. And I was asked yesterday by the National Catholic Register, why is this important to you? And it's fairly ironic. It's important to me because I was taught at Sacred Heart of Jesus in Atherton that hypocrisy, prejudice, discrimination are all ills that need to be solved in this world. And in our particular school, we have a Blue Ribbon Society that fights for issues of social justice. So that's the origin, and I want to have the opportunity here to give a big shout out to the teachers at Sacred Heart and the administrators and whomever it was who was smart enough to get a hold of Channel 9 News. And we would be happy to come accept that award on their behalf. Because the issue would be easy to resolve in my mind as far as pulling my own children out if I didn't realize what an incredible educational opportunity and environment those teachers and administrators offer to our children. And you should know this has been crushing for a lot of them. They've been muzzled. They can't speak out. So, because we've not been able to talk to the administrators, I've reached out to my old high school, and I'd like to read what one of the senior directors wrote over the weekend. I hope that some of this will be helpful. I wish that I could be there to stand in solidarity with you and your family, with the other families who are impacted by this, with the children who are being scandalized, quote unquote, by the church's actions, and with all the gay and lesbian Catholics who are desperately trying to hang on to their faith in the face of such cruel and unjust discrimination. The last thing, the church often uses the language of scandal, which I used above intentionally. The church might suggest that the presence of the lesbian couple might cause scandal to the children. Theologically speaking, scandal means that some action actually causes damage to another person's faith, a pretty high bar. It is more likely, in fact, that the church's action will damage the faith of the Sacred Heart community more permanently than the presence of a child with lesbian moms. One could argue quite convincingly that the children at the school will actually deepen their own faith and their commitment to the church if they see the church leadership actually putting into action her own teaching and the gospel of Jesus Christ, which is fundamentally to love thy neighbor as thyself and to care for those on the margins. So I share those views, as many others do, and I would encourage everybody to check out, you can Google Pastoral Care of Homosexual Persons. It was authored in 1986 by the then Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger.